we work together now too. See, so that escape is gone. And the general public know what I mean by that. Because you know what I mean. Like you get up in the morning and you know you have your brief interaction because everybody's the hustle and bustle of getting the day started. Everybody go their separate ways for the whole day, and then at the end of the day, you all kind of come back to the common place, which is home. And kind of try to catch up real quick for the end of the day. Like, how was your day? How was your day?
Right.
But you'll get into a routine of that to where it's not necessarily genuine anymore.
Right.
How was your day? It was good. I did it. How was your day? It was good. I did it. So now that we're both, we're a family unit at home and we're a family unit on the business side now as well.
We're not.
Yes, we kind of are.
Hey, yo, you sickness and health, riches and broke. Yeah, healthy marriage is dope. Let's work in our dreams, let's heal through our growth. Yeah, healthy marriage is dope.
Messing up more, but I be messing up when I'm talking. So.
There it is. I know the feeling.
Say something. Say something. Right, let's get it started. Just on that note, welcome to Healthy Marriage is Dope, the podcast. I had to make sure I say the right podcast. Because we ain't been podcasting in a minute. But Healthy Marriage is Dope. This is a podcast about our marriage because that's the only relationship that we are pseudo experts in. We don't know about your marriage. So we tell you about ours and hopefully it'll help you in how you think through some of the things that you go through. I am one of your hosts. I am D. Johns and I am Jamaican.
He's lying, and I'm Keisha, the other host. Don't tell lies.
Talk to the mic. I mean, if you're doing all the doing, talk to the mic.
Please don't tell lies to the people.
Yeah, it don't matter if you don't get it on the mic. It's not going to have the same effect.
Carry on.
What we been up to?
Summering almost. I'm counting down to summer right now. That's what I've been up to.
Well, we did skip spring. I mean, we live in Texas, and Texas took spring off this year. It was cold and cool and rainy, and then it was
hot
oven.
Basically.
Oven on that bake.
I hear you, kids. Y'all, we got kids.
Keisha has 5 kids. So this is the first time coming in contact with our content. First of all, we appreciate you. Make sure that you at some point like and subscribe. At the end, share, comment throughout so that people know how you feel about it. We know how you feel about it. We will see you in the comments for sure. But we always start some chit chat we were trying to do.
I'm just excited about our guest today.
Oh, you just gonna bring that in?
I'm just gonna bring it right on in.
There goes the chit chat. What we've been doing, we've been figuring out our platform, and today is the first of what I hope will be. How do you feel about it? Before the episode, how do you feel about the concept?
I love the concept.
Okay.
Absolutely love the concept.
Okay.
But I don't be peopling no more. I'm trying to get back into my I do people because I don't do people for real. So that's a challenge, but I'm trying to be open again. So, hey, y'all.
Very true.
I'm friendly.
Very true. Let me bring your mic up because I think you forgot how this works.
Okay. You good now?
I'm good. I got it out.
Okay.
I got it out. Yeah. So in terms of the format that we're speaking on, we know it's normally just us. We have had one guest to bring us some professional help, LMFT, Nicole Ward.
And your cousin was on too. Howard was on early on. Yeah. And y'all keep praying for him. There was a lot of comments about his position on life and marriage. And he's still not married, which you may have gathered from that episode in 2019. But we have some fabulous guests on the show today. We got James and Tanya Johnson. Welcome to Healthy Marriages Dope.
Thank you.
Yes, if you're a cross viewer, I don't know if that's the right word.
I don't know. We can coin that term today.
Cross viewer.
Use it as you may. I have another podcast,
right.
Dear Son. Mm-hmm. If you watch that, you've seen James. Now you get to see the better part of the equation.
Hey,
Tanya, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Thank you.
Oh gosh. I think we're just trying to make it through the last week of school.
4 days, y'all. 4 more wake-ups.
It's here.
The kids are totally freaking out about not being able to bring backpacks to school.
Right.
Like what do they need?
I was like, that's what I wanted.
Over.
So
it's over.
We're just trying to get them through the last 4 days so we can start summer as well.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, I have no idea, but it will not involve getting the whole crew up in the morning and dressed and out the door. So I'm good with that.
Hallelujah.
I'm with it too. Our kids will wake up at 3 p.m. if you let them. And I don't like it, but I love it during off season.
Yeah.
Because I can get up and get work done.
Yeah.
And it can be quiet. But you mentioned something about
not bringing backpacks to school. I'm getting used to that. Like that wasn't a thing when we were in high school. We're from Virginia. Y'all are from different parts of Louisiana. Yeah. Was that a thing when y'all in high school where they had to cut off backpacks?
Well, it was a thing, but not for the same reason it's a thing right now. It was a thing to just have a lesser day. We don't need books. We're not doing any testing.
Gotcha.
So just, leave your backpacks at home. Nowadays, I don't think that's the reason that they're leaving the backpacks at home.
Nah, they're trying to...
Yeah, it's a little more adverse type of situation.
The
they did have the metal detectors out on Friday.
What?
I didn't get
that. I no permission slip.
Well, let me pull that back. When we pulled up, Imani, the kids recognized that they were checking. They were like, they do it once every so often. Yeah. But they hadn't done it in a while. Like, they checking. And I believe they were wandering. It might not have been the walkthrough.
Listen, but my kids ain't no...
They were definitely checking.
I don't need them getting used to going through metal detectors and being patted down and stuff like that. Yeah. This is not their future.
We had when was the scare? I shouldn't even say the scare.
No,
that's underserving it. We had an event in our district, Mansfield ISD.
Was it before Thanksgiving?
I'm bad with that. Everything to me is 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't. It was way longer than that.
2 weeks ago.
Wait, what was the comedy show?
2 weeks ago.
When did we go to see Kim on stage? That's when it was, like right before then.
What was
I remember that
situation with that?
I remember all the things. The shooting at Timberview.
Yes. Oh no, that was. I can't remember. I think
about 2 weeks ago.
After Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
but that was.
That's probably why. That's the why. The overarching why.
Yeah, we talked about it on how did the kids at your house react? Because it was tough for me to gauge, like, did they even process it?
It's eerie how laid back they were with it. In my opinion, they kind of were like, I guess because they so heavily on social media, it was a norm almost, and that's scary to me because you're thinking about what's the approach to talk to your kid about it, but then they kind of calming you down, like
brush it off.
It wasn't even at our school; it was at the other school.
Right.
It's like, but. Son, that was across the street.
Right.
Like it's right here. Yeah. So and he took off running to a neighborhood that's remotely connected to your school.
Right.
They got him. I'm like, well, okay, then you good.
I also think that sadly enough, I think they see that type of situation on social media more than we even know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that was kind of out of sorts was that how close it was.
Right.
But
right.
As far as seeing that type of situation, I think they may see it a little more than we.
Yeah.
I mean, they have little, not websites, but they have little own websites where they show fights. Like they upload the videos of the fights and stuff. Like they're rating each other, rating outfits. Like they have.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Their own sharing platforms.
That was why we had such a lack of response. We totally responded.
Absolutely.
Right. We immediately got on the phone, both phones, like making sure air traffic control was in place. And the kids were like, we're good.
Imani was like, is you coming to get me or not? Hey, word on the street is I'm ready to go.
It's shaking.
The crazy part for, I think that what put us more in our feelings is because that's the school they would have gone to.
Yeah, that was their supposed.
So we
Honor went to that school.
They were texting people at the school while it was happening because it was their friends from the track they were on in middle school.
Yeah. That's our previous neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Our Thelma Jones fed into Timberview. Like that was totally the school that Bryson was going to be at.
Gotcha.
When we moved.
Which is crazy.
And for all intents and purposes, was a good school.
Yeah. And a couple of his partners, they over there now.
It's a great looking school. Well, you know what? Everybody has an opinion based on their experience.
Yeah.
And our experience was our oldest re-entering public school after being homeschooled, living overseas for 3 years.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So there was a lot of overcompensation. And,
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Wow.
Right.
So I felt like going to school like.
Yeah, it's a beautiful school. She her initial set of friends, her crew thinned out, right? Yeah. And I like where the group that she has now, but that was some. I think she felt the need to try. Like to
everything.
Fit in. All right. She was a new girl.
And that's part of her personality anyway. So don't ask her to try it. She gonna try it.
Right.
Whatever it is.
It's a good thing.
Right. In the future. Not now. We don't.
Yeah, but when it starts shaping how you evaluate yourself based on how people perceive you, that was the issue, right? It's great when it's, what do I think my parents think about me? Let me adjust. But when it's a knucklehead, like when your worth is being told to you by a knucklehead that doesn't understand their worth.
Right.
Yeah, it was all those. That's put me in a place. Let's get back that was. Ooh.
Y'all don't have the girls to deal with. Oh my goodness!
Look at God.
The boys. And it's like I haven't forgotten the stupid stuff that I used to say.
Right.
To try to convince or.
Right.
But these jokers,
it's magnified, and they look like grown men. Like they're all grown men now. They're not little boy-looking boys.
I was hoping he was grown.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. 17. When your birthday?
Right. Come on.
I was like 18.
Give me something.
Yeah, you work with. Yeah, but it turned out like even when approaching him, he was a respectful guy. When he figured out that his mother was going to find out all of this stuff and how it was going to make the family look, he was very apologetic and respectful, but it was almost like he was repeating lyrics from a song in the text. I was like, number one, you stupid. Don't stop. It's too much evidence. Yeah. But that wasn't really who he was, but that was how he was introduced to me because I saw the text. I don't have an off switch for that.
I don't.
Like you wrote it.
Correct.
You wrote it.
So this is it. As far as I know, this you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You wrote it.
Ooh, child.
How did we get here?
I don't know. He don't understand.
That's that breeze though. That's that. Sometimes it need to come out wherever it come out.
Yeah. And we have sons, so we're taking all of that in as well. Yeah. We have to make sure that.
Son, don't let these lyrics on this music get you in trouble.
Because they lying. They ain't do it.
Right. Got you doing some stuff. Yeah. You attempting things they not even attempting. They just talking about it. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Whoa, okay. So we what else we need to talk about before we jump into it?
No, that's it.
Everything good? Mm-hmm. Business?
I love you today.
Love you today too.
Okay, good.
So if you not following us on Instagram, you may not have known that my wife just completely hoodwinked me yesterday.
It wasn't a hoodwink. I gave you details and you added your own details in your mind.
As the story is told by me, right? So we just got a couch. We're finally realizing that we own a home that we're going to be in for a long time. Right. We've been moving around and it's like, okay, let's get this used thing. Let's get this IKEA.
Our whole lives.
Which is cool. But we starting to invest. We got a couch and I was connecting the dots based on the fact that we just got a couch that was it was a decision to buy the couch, right? Yeah. So we're going to get some. Is that accoutrement? That's not a good.
You can use that.
It was going to get some accoutrement. I don't know.
Therefore,
so we'll get some other pieces, right? Keisha says, "Let's go to the store." She probably told me.
I said, "Let's go to Dirt Cheap."
Details. I heard store.
So I can find a rug.
Whose store is it going to be?
Okay, go ahead.
I need to be dramatic.
Tell it right. Okay, go ahead.
This is my wife's sister, whether y'all know it or not. They just realized this.
Y'all gonna see that. Y'all gonna see that.
She told you we're gonna go to Dirt Cheap.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for
you to the rescue. Oh my God! Look at the amen section jumped out of nowhere.
To the rescue, yeah. So it was to shorten it. It was a thrift store. Whether she told me it was a thrift store or not, I didn't hear it. I heard we were going to get a rug
brand new stuff though
to accompany the couch. The couch didn't come from a thrift store, so I didn't assume that we were going to a thrift store to get the rug. We show up, and it looked like
he was put off by the outside.
I'm not sure. We're looking at the store. We're looking at the store in the state that the store is in. And she's telling me that it's upscale.
It's like brand new. You know what I mean? It's not used thrift store stuff. It's brand new.
It's brand new.
And you're lying. Okay, let's get off of that.
Name brand.
So you see, I got the same sales pitch put on me my first visit. I kind of pulled up with the, what we doing? Yeah. She's like, no, listen,
right.
It's really their fault for naming the place
Dirt Cheap, right?
Yeah,
that's off-putting in itself.
Right? Yeah, it looked dirty. That's now inside it was cool, and I saw some stuff. I ain't gonna front. I saw some stuff, but I was feeling the way.
Yes.
No, we didn't see furniture.
I went in the rugs. Okay, so normally the rug selection is much bigger than I have to admit. It was meager.
It was a shelf of napkins in a rug section.
It's an opportunistic place. You have to kind of go.
And we went at the end of the day on Friday, so I mean,
try again.
That's what it was.
It was.
Okay. But yeah. I saw a couple. I might run back.
See, let me know where you go.
But no, just tell me we thrifting. Tell me we going thrifting.
You saving money. You know, if I'm taking you, it's gonna be somewhere where you saving coins.
Like it was the treat. Like it was the treat for the end of my work week.
It was.
We gonna go to the store after we get off work.
I've been waiting on this since Monday.
Like we could have stayed home, made Kool-Aid.
But did you get a rug?
No, they didn't have it.
Nice try, man section. Nice try. Yeah.
Home goods.
Yeah. I love that.
But they probably got some home good stuff at dirt cheap, to be fair. No, not home good stuff. They might have some Marshall stuff.
We're not going to blow past the point that she thought she had, boy.
Home goods is almost like a subsidiary.
It's
the same style of inventory.
It is.
Right?
It's neater. It's put neater on the shelves.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all these free plugs to these furniture stores.
For real. There's a process. There's an email inbox to address all of that.
Check your inbox for these invoices.
For all of that.
I did not mean to hoodwink and bamboozle, but I did need for you to go with me. So
it put us closer to my to the Jamaican restaurant that I like. So we ended the day.
Another plug.
It's cool. Yeah.
No, we're not gonna name drop them, but listen.
Drop them, but
listen, when I start back eating meat, those oxtails, what D?
Yeah, I'm all veggie, and I'll go every day.
Yeah,
I will go every day. What we talking about today? The topic that was put into the group chat is balance a myth, and I know there's some offshoots to that we'll probably get to in the conversation. But in terms of like keeping the family together, keeping yourself together, keeping your relationship together, balance. Like we have an opinion on balance. We want to get some other perspectives on, is balance a myth? Is it the thing to actually chase? And what does it look like in our lives? So
I got a Santa Claus bag.
Really? So I guess kind of orient them to like the dynamic, right? The household dynamic. What do you do?
Right. Now, the weird thing is, and I don't want to jump around. I really kind of want to put it in a good order, but we work together now too. See, so that escape is gone, and I don't want to say it like I don't want to, and the general public know what I mean by that, because you know what I mean. Like you get up in the morning and you have your brief interaction because everybody's the hustle and bustle of getting the day started. Everybody go their separate ways for the whole day, and then at the end of the day, you all kind of come back to the common place, which is home. And kind of try to catch up real quick for the end of the day. Like, how was your day? How was your day?
Right.
But you'll get into a routine of that to where it's not necessarily genuine anymore. Right. How was your day? It was good. I did it. How was your day? It was good. I did it. So now that we're both, we're a family unit at home and we're a family unit on the business side now as well.
We're not.
Yes, we kind of are. Don't do that.
We're not family at work.
Oh,
do we both go to the same place?
We both go to the same place.
Listen.
But y'all ain't family is what she's saying.
We're not.
Y'all are
what you mean
co-workers, co-owners.
You take the hat off.
Are you married to me at the office?
I am married, but we don't.
This is my work wife too, y'all.
Smart.
So, and I think that's another way that we attain balance. Like we're husband and wife, and we have a certain chemistry and relationship at home. Mm-hmm. But then when we're in the office, we're totally different.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, we're under the same roof at work.
Under the same roof. Yes, I can't.
So because we're under the same roof at work, I work with her, I live with her. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So now,
what's the business?
Oh, chiropractic, Flexion Chiropractic.
I just wanted the flex to be thrown out there.
Oh, yeah, Flexion Chiropractic, Arlington, Texas, block north of Six Flags. But here we go. But so we're at the office, and again, we do a good job of balance between not spilling the personal life into the office atmosphere, because obviously you have to conduct yourself a certain way at the office. But we're together all day, and initially going into that, the old habits of man is, man, because I get it all the time. Man, I couldn't work all day with my wife. How you do that? How you do it? It's like, it's good.
Right.
It's really good. And it stops I don't have to ask you, how was your day? I was there.
Right.
So now the empty going through the motions conversation, it doesn't really take place, because I know how your day went. I know if it was an off day. Right. I know if it was a good day, I was there. So
let's talk about other things.
Right.
It gives us room to talk about other things besides how was your day. And
right.
So
what do you think about that?
I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy because it works. So let's say that. I don't think that we have any deficiencies because we do work together. I think we manage home. Speaking to the balance of things, we balance home and work. Now, there's a third part to that whole balance factor. It was the romance part.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the romance part, which we talked about a little earlier. We first had to establish what is romance for us, because I think it's different for every couple. You know, is it just when there's just the two of us and no distractions? Is that romance for us? Because if it is, then we do a really good job of balancing family, romance, and what's the third one? Family, romance, and business.
Business, yeah.
Right. So I think two of them are definitely combined, the whole family and business. But the romance part, that's where you have to work a little bit harder. It's almost like trying to keep all three balls in the air. Yeah. I think as far as we're concerned, I think we do a really good job. We have a strong 2 front runners at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
One is naturally just because of our family dynamic. We have teenagers and we have littles and we have extended family. One is always kind of lagging a little bit behind, but I think that we both do a good job of recognizing it, kind of going back and reaching and bringing that one in with the fold. Mm-hmm. So that's the best we can do. I think so. It works for us having family and business kind of combined.
Yeah. One thing we came to the realization was, so I understand your explanation and the use of balance. For us, balance isn't a thing. It's like you probably can hear it in the background. Yeah, it was so quiet until we started recording. But it's more so what needs the attention gets the attention, and making sure that the important thing gets tackled, and something suffers. So
all the time.
So if something is suffering, for me, that's not balance. It's not bad, because the pursuit of something so perfect is frustrating. Yeah. And we got to be okay with ensuring that we're on the same page, number one, which sometimes is not always the case, but that's just the relationships, the ups and downs in relationships.
Right.
But after that, making sure that we agree on, or we have regular dialogue about that thing that's suffering.
Right.
Like, how do we not let it die? And Keisha's way better than that, because my mind, it's not money focused. It's the money aspect of it, which is not the most important thing. Let me just make that clear. But it is a stressful thing to be the one responsible for the income. And that was a joint decision. Like, I don't think her role is less difficult than mine.
Right.
I don't want like that stress. I'm learning how to manage the stress that I took on. But for me, if I can't see through the next year or where things are going, then it starts to impact how I respond to things. Am I short with her? Am I actually thinking about date night? All of those things.
Right.
And we had to get way more intentional about, no, this thing has to be important for us. I wasn't good at saying it. Yeah. Like, I would feel a way, but I would just tuck it in. Like, that's just where we're at. That's the part of it. We grind in, you know what I'm saying? We try to get to this thing. And I don't want to like my explanation to be the whole explanation, but like your thoughts on your perspective on balance and where we're at in the process of trying to manage what needs to be managed and still be intentional about like those soft skills and like the dating and all of that.
I have always felt like balance is this constricting myth that is put upon, I'm going to say, the woman more than the man. You know what I mean? Like, when I did work, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I did work, I'm still need to take care of the kids. I'm still need to clean. I'm still need to do all these things. And I'm still need to be beautiful and available for my husband. Like, the whole balance of that is like a shackle on you, right. Or it was on me. So it made it so difficult to want to put a whole lot of energy in one of the things. So if you're only putting a little bit of energy in everything, everything suffers. So early in our marriage, it was so hard. And it made me so angry.
Because if the thing that I'm making important in terms of need from you is the thing that you have to let suffer because other things are more important, then there's a resentment and animosity.
So true.
Yes, I was so resentful.
I want your body too. I know you got to feed them, but
right.
And we had little ones for years. Little ones for years.
Keisha kept getting pregnant, man. I was
by myself, right?
I was crazy. I was nuts.
I can relate.
That was nuts.
We had 3 under the age of 4. So it was diapers, pull-ups, newborn, all at the same time. And I was in my good 20s. I was still trying to be cute and fine and desirable. And it was just not we were just missing.
And if you're nursing, forget about it.
And nursing.
You're not even a human being.
No, just a pump factory.
I don't know why y'all keep doing it, man. I appreciate the results of childbearing and birth.
Anywho.
It don't matter because we're not doing it anymore.
Right.
She told
what?
Which hand?
It was that
right
hand.
Yeah, I had to orient myself to the hospital room. Keisha has never been a bad. What is it?
Laborer. Come on, big word. I have a high tolerance of pain though.
So it was for me, consistently, historically, I need to go to the hospital 2 to 4 hours. Baby's out.
Yeah.
She's asking if we can go home. Right.
Because
it was never the dramatic story.
Right.
Screaming, from the, he'd be like, who's that screaming out? I gave him a false representation of what it is to be a mother.
Crazy. You see a dude in the hallway that's you? Yuck. I'm sorry for you.
What is that?
But, on number 5, she pulled me close. And she clasped.
Squoven.
Yeah, my squoves my what are these carpals together? Yeah. He's like, I don't want to do this ever again.
Not ever again.
We done.
I was like, that won't the plan this time.
Right.
What we talking about?
So let's be certain.
Yeah. Did y'all were y'all intentional about the number of kids?
Were we intentional about no more kids?
About the number of kids. Was
that last one?
The play?
That last one was her last shot at a daughter.
Aww.
No,
that's actually a funny story because we already had Bishop. We knew we were going to have Bishop. So that's our 6-year-old. Mm-hmm. So we decided to have another child. And I think at the same exact time deciding that, we're going to do this again, I was pregnant.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah, we found out on a trip.
Yep. We were in San Antonio on the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
And I was taking a medication and the doctor asked, are you pregnant? And I was like, no.
Giggle? No.
God, no. And so we go on the trip, but she planted a seed. The pharmacist planted a seed. And I was just like, it's possible.
Right.
But of course I'm not pregnant. So we're
living.
Yeah, we're on our trip in the Riverwalk and we go to dinner and it's time for me to take the next pill. And we go into just a convenience store and I'll never forget. We got milk. We got a little carton of milk for Bishop and an alcoholic beverage. That's a big one.
Of choice.
And a pregnancy test. And I remember taking a picture of the trio. This is crazy.
Even the checkout clerk was like, big night.
2 of these make sense.
Judge your mama. This is me. So I go next door back to dinner and I sit down. But before we order, I go to the bathroom. And I was like, let me just get this off my mind.
Right.
I know it's silly. It just doesn't matter. And so I come back to the table white as a ghost. And I'm brown. But I'm white as a ghost. I didn't sit across from my husband. I sat next to him this time.
I kind of was like, hey. Upgraded my seat.
I didn't say a word. I just pulled the test out of my pocket and set it right in between us. So he's eating because the food's there. He's eating. And he's talking and I'm just staring ahead. And I was like, yeah. And he looks down. And yeah.
Double take.
Hold it.
So that's how
She's going to hit me with this at the table on vacation?
Yep. That's
I kind of feel like vacation over a little bit. Like, wait.
No,
Then I looked, I was like, okay, we good. We good. She was like, we good. I was like, listen, the shot gonna blow over.
Right.
Well, we good. I know we said it.
That shock, bro.
You know, once you say yeah, ladies, listen. When you say yeah, the universe listening.
Don't say yeah, ladies. Don't let it come out.
The universe listening.
Don't let it come out
your body shift into. She said.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't say yeah. What about those of us?
Are you sure you didn't birth it?
I was not putting out nurturing energy, bro. I was.
We were in the valley of decision because you had the 5-year.
Yeah, I had
thing,
the
right?
IUD.
Yeah,
really.
It was making me sick.
Yeah. It was making me sick.
I got it put back in though. After like the first 5 years, I was like, all right. But then it started making me even sicker. So then I had it. I was like, I got this.
And when she got it removed, I thought that was like a safety
grace period,
like a safety period.
It's supposed to be, get it out your system. There was zero.
No,
in that month.
Light switch.
Yes. My ex was like, oh, party, yay. We've been waiting on this.
Pregnant.
We weren't waiting on this though.
But we were saying the same thing. Y'all just spelled different. Once you took
it out,
you took that barrier out the way.
I just wanted to.
Your body like, okay, here we go.
And that's another. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's another. I guess point to identify in that phase. Our communication was so poor that it was. We knew we had to make a decision, but the only decision was to get off of that. We never talked about in detail, like what's next or what does this actually mean?
Right.
If we're not on birth control.
Right.
And we figured out very, very
real
quick. Like I was like, man, ain't no warranty on that. Like, what is we? I mean, she was immediately pregnant. Wow. And then
Eden was like 6 months and I got pregnant with Eli. I was like, I am nursing. This is not okay. This is not all right.
No, you're right.
Somebody lied to me.
Yep, because we made it on the I'm nursing card.
They lying.
And that was the worst part. Nah, I shouldn't say the worst part. The frustrating part for me was we were just getting, like, I love my children.
Right.
Let that be the through line in all of these stories.
You're finally starting to get your groove back.
When they can go over there and really go over there, like go over there.
Go find something.
Yeah, go get yourself something to eat. Right? That's the stage where now we living again. Everybody's living life at this point. Like we're not the crutches for each other.
Right. I'm not 100% responsible for everything you got.
Now we got to reset. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't remember how to do that. They still need diapers, Shane?
Yes.
They got to eat every day?
Yes. Multiple times.
They need to figure that out.
Car seats.
The strollers, the double stroller life. Oh my God.
You did a double stroller?
Twice.
We was going to the airport.
Donovan and Imani were a year apart too.
In 18 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, you're right.
I'm just saying, like,
I know.
What are they called?
Like Irish twins.
That's what I'm talking about.
They were more than 12 months apart though.
Yeah.
Eden and Eli are definitely Irish.
So we going to the airports. Our first
double
flight
strollers.
was that 12-hour flight to Dubai with 30 pieces of checked luggage.
Wow.
And us figuring life out when we land on the other side.
In 115 degree weather.
It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. But
anyway.
So look at me trying to manage a tangent.
Some of them need to hit it.
Trying to manage a tangent. So in terms of I love it that I don't love it that you can hear that. Hopefully you can't hear that in the background. No, I'm gonna leave it in. Not texting them, but they'll never get the text when it's important. All right, so that was it. It may not be a break as you're listening. I don't know how it's gonna edit. So you may not hear this. It doesn't matter. But we're gonna jump back in the conversation. I was about to ask, like, what are the intentional steps to maintain, whether you call it balance, whether you call it harmony? Like, what are some of those things that you guys have learned have worked for you to kind of maintain the happy, the
connectedness. It is connectedness.
State. I was about to say the happy state, but happy is
I know all the words. Yeah. Okay.
Communication. Like I had to learn to be more vocal. And believe it or not, because people that know me know I'm ridiculously vocal.
Right.
But it depends. I guess it depended on topic. Kind of to a point you said earlier, Derek, if something's going a certain way and it's not to my liking, I know your plate is already full. She's a uber mom. Like, she lives to be these kids' mother. You know what I mean? She cooks and she does this and I'm be like, man. So the resentment will set in that something is lacking or something that I desire is not being met. And I won't say anything because I know your plate full. I think I'm being considerate, but I'm adding to the problem. You know what I mean? By not saying it because it's eating at me. So now it's festering. So now you're getting shady. You're saying little shady comments. And she'd be like, you good? I'll be like,
right.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Let me find out we live in the same life.
So then that turned into discussions. We started to have intentional discussions. Hey, you know this. Well, since you mentioned that, I don't like this, and this. I didn't know you didn't like that. Had you told me or had I known, I would have moved a little different. Tell me. Okay, well, that's easy. Right. I'll tell you. So then that kind of, in my opinion, helped a lot because I noticeably saw the change after that. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything ain't always perfect, but it's a lot better now that I don't hold stuff in until I'm just so angry or driven about it that now it's like, I can't be quiet. Like, no, man, don't go in there, check on your little kids then. You know, mad they come, them your kids. Don't check on your little kids or something. I'm going to just go down the street. I'm going to go get me a drink and sit down. I'm like, you good? She had no idea that was going on. So communication.
Right. I think that a lot of our intentional steps came out of routine, honestly, out of routine from when we first met. We knew that we liked certain things. We had certain things in common. We liked certain restaurants that we may have just happened upon, but we knew we wanted to go there regularly, right? So that was our quality time, call it romance, intimacy, whatever you want to call it, but it was a checkbox, right? So if we find ourselves 3 months down the line and we haven't been there or back to that place, or we realize that, okay, hey, our maintenance might be, we haven't been to such and such in a while. Well, that equates to, we need a little maintenance in this area. One place that I want to say frequented when we first met was Starbucks, right? Okay. We both like coffee, generally. So if we don't make little spurts of time or little pockets of time to just do little things like that, then we know that there's a deficiency. Right. I will get caught up in the monotony or the routine of being a mom because you don't choose that. I mean, they have to be taken care of and they need things, right. But so does our marriage, Right. So I think we use little landmarks like that to just kind of do maintenance on our relationship. Because if we go there, we know it's just about us. That's our time. Yeah. We don't have any issues or qualms with the kids and their upkeep and maintenance. They're really getting to a point where they maintain and upkeep themselves. Look at God. Get them off us, Lord. Is concerned. But our intentional steps do come from routine. We miss certain aspects, and I think it kind of hits us both at the same time. We haven't been to our favorite lunch spot, our favorite Thai spot, or right. I'm realizing a theme. It kind of always surrounding food.
Because food is delicious. Duh.
You're going to have to do something. Yeah.
Do you have to... I just had to...
Go ahead.
I don't feel like I'm...
No, go ahead.
Because I got... They coming questions. How old were you when you started dating or got serious about...
Period?
No. For your relationship, yeah.
How old were we?
Yeah. Where were you at in life when y'all got together? And why you not that you had to think about that long, but for 33. Context, 33?
33 for me.
2020. You were 23, right?
When we got married? When we were engaged, I was 23. We got married when I was 24.
24. And the reason I asked that is because who you are at that age and who you are at 33, who you are at 43 is way different.
I've been 2-3 different people already.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you think that contributed to the maturity level of your relationship because you were both at that point?
Dramatically. And we should both mention that we're each other's second go round at this. So both having previous marriages, it teaches you a lot. You learn a lot about who you are, especially when you have to go through the solution of a marriage, you learn exactly what you like and what you don't like, what you need and what you want. So I knew, for one, going into another type of situation, marriage, long-term relationship, whatever it was going to be, I had explicit needs and wants from day one. And that can be alarming to, a man.
Right.
But I was willing to I knew that. And I wanted to scare off whoever was not
up to the task.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I purposely came in hot. Like, I want this, I don't like this and don't want this. And I'm, pretty set on that.
Right.
And he was like, okay.
Yeah, because it was me. It was me. It was like she was reading my birth certificate or something, really. But same with me. I wholeheartedly, I tell her all the time, she could not have, well, I don't want to put it like that. Forgive that verbiage, but the 20-year-old, 21, 23-year-old I was when I got married in my first marriage, I was not ready for what I have now. I wouldn't have appreciated it. Mm-hmm. I would have crashed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was very immature. I was emotionally immature. I didn't have the resolve that it takes to really work at, I'm not doing something right or she's not doing something right. So let's sit down and fix it and talk about it. It was, nah, I've told you 12 times already. If I'm still saying it, you just don't get it.
Right.
Like, you either don't care that this is what I want out of you or you're not capable. Either way, this don't work. You know what I mean? That's you convince yourself of that. And once you feel like that, you out.
Right.
You check out and mentally. So just knowing, like, it's not over till it's over. Over is not even an option with this one. I'm like,
aww.
So that's why I tell her, I'm like, listen, whatever this is, we fix it. Like, even in a mad moment, my personality will kick in. I might grab her and tickle her like, oh, you mad. So she'll laugh. She's like, you play too much, but we'll fight past it.
Because I'm trying to figure out how you her sister and his cousin.
Because I have all the things. You're welcome.
She just said she's like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah. So, just that helped a
True
lot.
Words that was spoken. I think we missed that. Like, because I didn't come in with you must, you shall. Like, I didn't know what my list was, and it's not discrediting. I knew I wanted Keisha, like from high school.
Right.
I literally prayed.
Look at God.
Let this happen.
But answer that prayer.
You probably still got my letters. I was super all the way in. I was we was pen pals across the street from each other.
That is the cutest.
But I was mimicking what I saw as a successful marriage from my parents, right? Yeah. Just the activities, but we never had deep conversations as to this is why our activities work in our relationship.
Right.
Everything isn't like this. I was just mimicking what I saw my dad do. It ain't work for her because she's not my mom, right? So we never really had the conversations. We just had, I just had like, why is this not working? Don't you see?
Right.
I wasn't mature enough to say that. I would try to figure out ways to be happy otherwise. Well, I'll just go to the bar before I come home. Or I'll just not talk about this. Oh, this bothers you? Okay, cool. Now I know how to pull that lever. It was more like weaponized than anything. And we had the conversation late. But it kind of makes sense in parallel with what you're saying is you grow. Either you grow with that person or you grow with somebody else, or like go away from somebody else to understand what you really need. And once you know it and you articulate it, it's not, I shouldn't say it's not that bad. It's manageable. Well, I'm struggling for the right words. It's, no, I think manageable is a good word, right? Because I don't want the facade that marriage is like it's easy or any relationship is easy, but.
Or that it has to be hard either. It doesn't have to be hard.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And that's why we call it healthy marriages dope, not perfect.
Right.
That would be boring to me.
Right.
But
absolutely.
I agree.
Being available to each other and receiving, welcoming the tools and the skills that you need to understand yourself and better communicate with the other person. It's not so bad. It's like, I don't know what we can't get through.
Right.
At this point.
Now that we can converse and hear each other. Like, I believe before we would be having not even argument, a discussion, and it would be, all right, what's my response to whatever it is he's about to say? Not, I'm listening to what you're saying, or I want to be right. Like, I need to win this kind of thing. And we both petty. Let me tell you something.
Petty king.
Petty boots.
Communication, it isn't easy. I mean, two people can be talking, but it's an art responding to what someone just said and making them feel heard.
Yes.
So you have to make them feel heard, but also get your point across as well. Or if you're not doing that, you're just like talking at each other.
Yep.
Right.
So you got your points out, he got his points out, then we walk away and really nothing got resolved.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of our communication, like we're just silly people. You know, we laugh our way through our whole existence sometimes. It works for us. But a lot of our meaningful communication takes place non-verbally. You know, we just have to kind of feel each other a lot and know, like, he's okay because he's acting a certain way. Like I'm normally used to him being. He's leaning into me. He's grabbing my hand. Okay, everything's good. You know. So when things are not right, I pick up on nonverbal cues first. Like, okay, what's going on? You know. So then it leads to a conversation. But I think that communication can be healthy, or needs to be healthy on different levels. Yeah. Verbal, nonverbal. I don't know what forms there are.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to she had her hard yeses and hard no's. Do you now feel like you have your hard? Like, I know now I got my hard yeses and my hard no's.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though, like before, we both just wanted each other. It won't know.
Yeah.
It won't know we was doing what we were supposed to do. We were doing what we wanted to do, kind of thing. So do you have your hard no's, hard yeses now?
Yeah.
Do you want to share?
I didn't know. I don't know if we were like, what is
Sharing?
For me, it's like I like being appreciated, right? And it's not don't pacify me with words, but like if you see me, like, yeah, I appreciate that you're doing that. That's really what I was looking for, and I think you know that now, but I never let on to. That's what the action, that's what the attitude, that's what I don't see you. I want you to know that I didn't see you and I walked by you. Kind of like that petty stuff was like, you don't see all the stuff that I'm trying to do to build a life with you that you desire. Like that it was that kind of thing. And it wasn't that she didn't.
I just wasn't saying it.
Yeah, she wasn't saying, like, it was the whole love language thing. And that's another thing, is that mine changed over 20 years. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not that person anymore. That thing is not important. Our dynamic has shifted. And again, for me, it's not, please don't take money. It's the responsibility. Being a provider is tough.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's tough with two people when you make an informed decision to do that with one person, no matter who that is. That one person feels a lot.
Yeah.
The other person feels a lot of other stuff too, but that pressure is that pressure. Right. And then the pressures of the house are the pressures of the house. And I think we were both looking at each other like, well, I got pressure. Well, I got pressure.
Right.
You don't see,
right.
you don't see what I'm contributing. So for like, once we had that conversation, it was like, oh, right. And then other things that were frustrating to me was I am hoarding all of this angst and uneasiness, thinking that I'm protecting her. Right. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do this. The mail starts changing colors, right? It's pink and it's bright orange. And it's like, those things mean something. Right. Like somebody about to come get something, or somebody to cut off. Yeah. And I'm still
trying
too proud because I thought that's what a man did. Right. And if I signed up to be the provider and now I'm not doing it, what's she gonna think of me? Right. Man. What is she gonna think of me? And now it's like, she was like, I want to be informed. Like,
please let me know.
I just, like, okay, I got it. Cool. Oh, you want to do this? Oh, you want to spend this money? Okay. It's not like it's hard nosed, but like it's, for me, it was, well, I made it.
Right. So,
and that was the extent of the conversation. I was having a lot of conversations with her without her. just in my head.
You just knew what I was going to say, child. You don't know me.
Why are we going to waste time with this? I'm going to just go do this thing.
I already know what you're going to say.
Hey. Right. And then I found out she's cool. I was like, wait a minute.
Imagine that. I'm cool.
Like, I like my wife. And that was the whole pandemic when I said it many times, and it's going to be the story. Like, just slowing down where I couldn't have a trip coming up to avoid something.
Right.
It's like, man, people really out here not wanting a life with the partner that they chose because of the pandemic. And I don't want to leave them. Like, I'm like, no, I don't need to go to DC.
Right.
I can dial in. Like, can you come? I don't even want to go to Fort Worth.
Man.
It's like,
right. I'm good right here. I'm good.
No, we Zoom. Yeah, we Zoom. We're going to use Teams. So, I mean, like my standards are simple. Mm-hmm. I just hadn't communicated them.
Yeah.
So now you've had enough time to think about it. No, you ain't about to rub your way out of not saying yours.
What's say right back? What you got?
Yeah, what's up?
My hard nose is, I think it's kind of the similar to yours, is like just not being seen and not being appreciated for what I've done. And I went through a whole phase, y'all, of resenting getting out of the military. I was so angry, not at him, but at myself for allowing myself to get to that place. Like, I would be like, oh, I could be retired by now. I could, you know what I mean? Like, I was really, really, really hard on myself, and I didn't blame you for that. I'm
just having a moment about the retirement.
I know. I blame me for that, but I think that our life together would have been a little bit different if I stayed in. Not in a way that you weren't under pressure the way that you feel the pressure. Not in a way that, our life would have been so much better if I would have stayed in. It would have just been equity of finances, I feel like.
But I wouldn't have reached the level of success that was important to me at one time
if you
stayed in.
Right.
Because we ended up moving for me because of my opportunities, but military, you got to go.
Yeah.
Like I signed up to not have a choice.
Right.
And like when opportunities started happening for me, I think that's one good thing about her being in the military is that she understood that life.
Right.
Like if you got to pick up and move because of opportunity, we got to do it. So I reached levels of things that I said I would do, not knowing, probably just being arrogant. God allowed me to see those things. So now I'm at peace with like the corporate race.
Yeah.
You can't take what I've experienced.
Right.
And what I experienced was actually I earned it, and you can drop me somewhere else and I'm gonna still have that same impact. Absolutely. I didn't kiss my way to the top. So I'm appreciative in that. I feel like a sucker for how I managed my my attention to you and the family during that time, because it was rationalized. Mm-hmm. Got to go get it.
Yeah.
Got to get to this next thing. We gotta position ourselves. And it's like, if your source is God and you say all of these things and you're trusting, like that's the answer. Mm-hmm. It's going to play out how it plays out. And I got to be fine with that. And even now, as I'm preparing for another shift, whether it's forced upon me or if it's on my timeline, things are falling in place. And that's the reality we've been talking about. It's not falling. Things are aligning and it's obvious. Right. And it's like, it's not that I have all the answers or all the money to just not have a job, but it's like, I got cool. If this is the path,
right, then we'll figure it out.
I'm fine. I'm gonna do my part. So I'm way more comfortable being open and being vulnerable, which that's a whole nother conversation about what is actually a man. Like what does it mean? Right. And how do you
that dear son be spilling over? I got you. I see it.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm like, I'll take that hit and I'll take out running. They be like, hey. Both of y'all, get back over here.
Yeah. You got any closing thoughts?
Oh no, we didn't get to the other thing. We still got to have this other conversation.
What's the other thing? Let's get to it.
The other conversation about
what is the resurgence of the black family, or is that just marketing?
I saw you put that seasoning on that. Listen,
I know it's marketing to say that we don't exist.
Right,
that's marketing.
Right.
propaganda and whatnot.
The comeback.
Right, the comeback.
The shake back of the Black family.
Right, and that's the whole thing is, and I know we're speaking on it without really saying what it was, is about the return of the joined or unified Black family.
Yeah.
2-parent household, husband, wife, children, and now the children have a different outlook. They have a different narrative now. And another close family member of ours, we had these conversations as well, the Jacksons. We talk about some of the shock that our children have, that there were norms for us growing up in single parent homes.
Right. And
then now these children that are accustomed to being in joint households, et cetera, they come across a friend at school and they see the mom, they be like, where's your dad?
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't know that can be an offensive or hurtful or touchy topic to this kid. They just like, surely your dad at home or at work, you know what I mean? Or vice versa if it's a single dad, because those exist as well.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of, where's your other parent? Why both your parents are never around?
Yeah.
So now the norm, and I was trying to analyze, is it because the circles I travel in and all of my friends are married and with children, and so everywhere we go and the functions we go to and the environment that we go to, it caters to that. Right. So is it that? Or or are we really on the rise? And I really think it's on the rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have what I'll call an opinion. Okay. I don't like to overly politicize things, but I think you and I have had conversations about how the Black man was systematically removed from the household. And this was maybe 2 generations ago. We're talking 70s realm, where the Black family was handicapped or crippled. And so the Black man was systematically, removed from the home all kinds of ways, put in jail, low income housing. If it was available for the mom, the husband couldn't be there. There could be no husband.
Right.
So if we fast forward to today's time, I think what has happened is, because of an availability of resources and information, I think that we are now, as a Black family, fighting an enemy that we can see. Mm-hmm. You don't know it. So let's go back to the 70s realm. And proverbially, if you're in a crowd and you're just getting hit, and you don't know who you're getting hit by, you're going to lose, right? The men back in that day, they had no idea what was happening because the plan hadn't unfolded yet.
Right.
It was in place at that point. So you fast forward a generation ahead, they started to become aware, like something's going on, but now you're a victim of it. Mm-hmm. It already happened. So you fast forward another generation, it's kind of where we come into play. We started to know, okay, something happened. This isn't our fault. Our men aren't just all criminals or abandoning their families. This is something that systematically was put into place, by the powers that be. And then so generations began to rise against that, whether it was through education, attainment of better jobs, and then resources as well, going back to their own people. And I think that we are a result of that generation. Yeah. So now we know the enemy, and we can fight against that enemy wholeheartedly with 2 fists and 2 feet. Right. Whatever that means, staying. You have to stay with your family, come what may. Running is not an option. Mm-hmm. Going to the grocery store and never coming back, that's just not even an option anymore. Right. So I think that has to be a topic if we're going to talk about the comeback or the resurgence of the Black family, because those things happen. You can subscribe to it or not. I don't even know if I do or not, but I'm just talking about factual information. Yeah. And that may only be one sector of the demise, and then, the rise of the Black family. So.
Yeah. I think it'd be really interesting to have a representation of a current generation single parent. Yeah. And understanding, like, the generation after the victim, as you framed it, that makes a whole lot of sense. Is there, because they had to be so strong, whether it was the mother was a single parent or the father was a single parent, does any resentment form against the opposite sex in general?
or against couples that didn't have to experience life as they experienced it, because we tend to empathize with people that have had similar scenarios or situations or, life events that we have.
Right.
And if they had to live a life because of their circumstances this way, I wonder, does any resentment build to the, what do they call it? Not the union, the ideal of marriage or the infrastructure of marriage? Is it so, have you had to do so much on your own that now you don't need it, or it has a lesser value than it may have had your circumstances been different?
Right.
And then are married couples like us that think healthy marriage is dope, do we play it down because we don't want to offend, or we know that other people don't live this life? Where's the line?
Right.
Right. Or is it even important to identify that there's a line? It's like when you if we're going to a father's breakfast, right? And you know that one of your children's friends doesn't have a father.
Right.
So the best you could be is a father figure to that person, but you're still not that kid's father. So how do you not be as openly loving to your son, not to make them feel important, or your child to make them feel like, how do you shimmy that
right
down that alley?
It's tricky. And I think it's a matter of trying to find a responsible reaction to it. Like in that scenario with the kid, right? Don't short your kid, because now you're punishing your kid for having his father. But I think use that to show the kid what this love looks like between a father and a child.
Sure.
But also give that kid some of that love as well. Like, I don't have to be your father, but this is what it feels like. So in their mind, they at least know what love from a positive male figure feels like, looks like. So now I have something to imitate, something to emulate. Like, I don't know what that looks like. All I know is leave, run. Well, now, I'm growing up in the house with my mom, but my friend from school, his mom and dad are there. His dad does things for me that make me feel welcomed and warmed. And I want that for my children. You know what I mean? Give them something to model. And the same with adults that kind of have a salted or tainted view of marriage. Show them what love or black love or true love or happy, dope marriages look like. And now they're like, oh, well, that ain't all so bad. Because typically, like all over social media, you'll see single people, they'll bash marriage a lot. Not everybody, but they'll be like, oh, you smiling and laughing with this person, but married people do this, or they only do that for attention. But if it's genuine, if something's genuine or not. You know what I mean? So now show them that. And that way, when they're around it, it's not as much as trying to smug them or rub it in their face. It's just, I think you're doing an injustice for them and your spouse if you dumb it down or tone it down for fear of making that person uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Show them that this is a beautiful thing when done right. There are some misrepresentations. If done right with the right person, you make mistakes. I think which this is a whole nother conversation. You can marry the wrong person. And now that makes marriage look horrendous. Man, that marriage thing ain't for me. Everybody I know, it crashed. They fight, they argue, they divorce, they not intimate, they not having sex. And it ruins it for them. Like, I'm not signing up for that. All my married partners, I'm not having sex. That scares men. When men hear that switch is off, they out. No, I'm not getting married.
That's a stigma that's associated
and women
with
too
marriage.
now, though. Leave the women out now.
So when you hear that, you have to show these people like, wrong people, wrong couple, wrong situation.
Not all like that.
And it's something that is their world, right? If you grew up and that's all you saw in your family was failed marriages, you probably have a tainted view of what's possible in marriage. So I get it. But that's what this platform is for. That's what these conversations are for. And sounds like we're going to have several more, which is great. But I think this is a good place to kind of, what do they say? Put a pin in it or put a
pin in it. I like that.
I mean, you got
I like that analogy.
She's going to mess that saying up. Don't ask her to say it.
Okay.
That sounded
right.
But no, that's this. I think it's definitely been great for me to get other perspectives. So let us know how you feel about it. We're going to keep doing it. Because that's just how it is. But if you can give us some feedback on how to make it more impactful, because that's what's important. This is not about followers and listenership. It's about impacting people, giving them information that helps them be better, do better, make better decisions. That's what we're about. What you got?
I agree. You've said all of the things. I will not even try to take away I did it early. Go ahead. You can do it now.
We appreciate you guys. God bless you. Peace.
1, 2, yeah.
Good clean rap.
No, you must. Every time.
Clean rap.
Okay, thanks.
Every time.
See, you trying to cut me off. Like, I want to say goodbye to you.
I don't be trying to cut you off. I just be trying to finish the actual sentence.
Done.
I'll throw to you. You got anything? Nope. We appreciate you. You gonna sacrifice the equipment too?
Listen.
Nah, that was dope, man.
Set my mind, I'ma just fight him off. God get his praise, this art that we make. Soulmates with silhouettes in the shade.